Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You're welcome to our today's lecture on the normal. We have farm cat, right? So we'll take a look at BD 253. We are still on the topic ratio, proportion, and variation. Ratio, proportion, and variation. Specifically, we've entered what? Variation. We are through with ratio and proportion. We are through with ratio and proportion. Are we together? Hello? Are we together? Okay, in our last class I introduced variation. So we had an overview of the types of variation, starting from direct, inverse, joint, and what? Partial. So let's go into detail. Let's start from the direct variation. Told you that that when you talk of direct variation, you talk about two parameters or two quantities when change in one cause change in the other one in the same direction. In the sense that if one is increasing, the other one is also what? Increasing. Other factors kept what? Constant. If one is decreasing, the other one is decreasing, vice versa. Are we together? So with that now, I can I will bring out two, maybe the x and y, representing two parameters. First one is x, second one is what? Y. So if x is directly proportional to y, you say that x is represented like this. Are we together? Are we together? This is variation. This is a direct what? Variation. And this is not an equation. Are we together? It's not an what? Equation. It's just an expression. It expresses the variation, the relationship between x and what? Y. So this is the sign of what? Proportionality. And these are the what? Parameters. Now, remember I said, did you know why I keep saying all factors remain constant? Let's assume, bringing it now to practical terms now. Let's assume here, under normal, in the quiz, it's expected that the more you come to class and listen to lectures, you will do well in quiz, right?
Yes.
Good. But that holds if other constants or other factors that may affect your performance is held what? Constant. Like, okay, now, what are those factors that may affect your performance? Maybe how you study affect your what? Performance too. Your attention in class also not just about coming to class. Your attention in class affects your what? Performance. You are being completely, of course, you know that even that your attention, how about other factors affect your attention, that affect your attention. It may be like something happened at home, the family is not in good shape, it's affecting you. Maybe that they serve you breakfast is affecting you. Maybe they serve you breakfast affecting you. Maybe that they are you are heartbroken. Should accept or not, it's affecting you. So you are listening. A lot of factors. Now, when we say that all these factors that kept us, is that those things are not happening. You come to class on time, you listen, you have no boyfriend serving you, even if they're serving you, you don't even care, you don't even care about it, your family is in order, all these things when they are in order, you say that they are kept what? Constant. So if you keep any other factor that may affect your performance, your attention in class, or your performance in the quiz constant, you will see that you are coming to class. The two things that will vary is you are coming to what? Class and the lecture going on, and sorry, you are coming to class and your examination you write. Are we together? It is expected that this should be directly proportional. True of us. The more you come to class, the more mark you do what? Get. Are we together? There are also some people that maybe their intelligent quotient is not the same thing with some other person in the class. So if you want to keep that one constant, all the students, this is just an expression. If you want to make it an equation, you will introduce a constant k, and that k represents all the other factors that are kept what? Constant. So if you want to make it an equation now, it becomes that x is equal to what? Ky. So this k now is the constant. It represents all the other factors that could affect your what? Performance. We keep them constant and call them what? They are countable. You can't count them. You can't even exhaust them. We call them what? K. So you now have that x is equal to what? Ky. Those two things now that vary here now what? X and what? Y. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So this is the equation now that x is equal to what? Ky. We can now make the k the subject of the formula. K will now become what? X over what? Y. Now, questions from this variation, you see the questions come in two forms. One, you may be asked, you may be asked to find the equation connecting the two variables. Sometimes you may see the question may ask you to find the equation or relationship or formula. Some may use equation. As you see equation, formula, or relationship between this what between x and y. In that case, you stop solving at the what. You leave your answer like this. If they are already giving you the value of x and y, you fix the value of x and y and leave the answer like that. If they ask you for a relationship connecting x and y or formula connecting the two variables, are we together? Now, sometimes you may be given the value of x and y at a particular state. Then, when there is a change, you'll be given the value of either x or y and asked to find the value of what? The other one. In that case, you must find the value of what? K. Are we together? You must find the value of what? K. In fact, there are also the type of question you will be asked to find the formula connecting. They will give you two values. They will give you two sets of value of x and y, or they may give you a set of value of x and y. Now you use it to find k. You now put it back in the original what? The value of k in the original what? Equation, and leave your answer like that. So by the time we solve one or two questions, you appreciate what I'm saying now. Now, this is the various ways you can see questions in this what? Direct what? Variation. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Are we together? Are you sure? Are you sure we are together? So, now let's see if you can solve a question there. Okay, look at this question. Let me just solve question on general questions. The question says if C, let me write it on the board. Look at this question. The question says if C is directly proportional to N and C is 5 when N is 20, find the formula connecting C and N. If C is directly proportional to N and C is 5 when N is 20, find the formula connecting C and N. Solution. Now, the relationship is what? That C is directly proportional to what? N, right? Good. So, remember to remove this sign of proportionality, we introduce what? K. So, this implies that C is equal to what? K what? N. C is equal to what? Kn. Now, if C is equal to Kn, we must find that K before we can solve that question. In this case, now you must find K. K is now equal to what? C over what? N. They give us the value of C to be what? 5. That of N to be what? 20. Which is equal to what? 1 over what? 4. Right? 1 over 4. So K is equal to what? 1 over 4. So, to be able to find the formula, this is actually the formula connecting them. But you have to put the value of K here. So that any place you see K, we put what? 1 over 4. So that implies that K is now equal to what? Sorry, C equal to K, and K is 1 over 4. What am I doing? It then implies that C is equal to what? K is what? 1 over 4 dot what? N. N is what? N is what? N is 20, right? All together?
Yes, sir.
I hope this dot is not. You understand what this dot means? It's multiplication. I hope you know.
Yes.
This is equal to what? 1 over 4 times what? 20 over what? 1. What am I even doing, sir? What am I doing? It's what? N. So C is equal to what? N over what? 4. I went back to again and started again. I have done. I have already finished this one. I hope you know. I used to find K now. So I'm mistakenly went back again and started putting 20 again. Is wrong. So the answer is what? That C is equal to what? N over 4. This is the formula connecting the C and what? N. In fact, with this formula now, any value, if you at any value of C, you can find the value of what? N. And at any value of N, you can find the value of what? C. That's the meaning. At any given value of C, you can find the value of what? N. By just putting that value here, I'm making n the subject of the what? Formula. At any given value of c of n, you can find c. Whatever value of c n you put here, you divide and find the value of what? C. So this is the formula connecting the two parameters, quantity c and what? N. Now, this second question we will throw more light on this. Let's solve it. Let me write it on the board. Are you done with this one? Okay. This second question says, if M is directly proportional to L and M is 6 when L is 2, find A, the relationship between M and L. B, the value of L when M is 15. Yes, correct. When M is what? 15. So, solution. The first thing is to find the relationship between what? M and what? L. So, remember that M is directly proportional to what? L. So, to introduce a sign of equality, we remove this thing and put what? Constant. So, which implies that M is equal to what? KL. So let's find this K. K is now equal to what? M over what? L. So remember that we are given the first set of values, which are what? 6 and what? 2. So we are told that M is what? 6. So that means K is equal to what? 3 over what? Over what? 3 over what? 1 from where? Am I sure I'm okay this morning? I think I need to go and sleep. I need to go and sleep. I'm eating. No, I've been awake since call it 12 midnight, so I understand. Alright, so 6 over what? 2, right? Now, so K is now what? 3, right? Good, 3. So K is equal to 3. So if K is 3, we are done with this first set too. So we now work with this second, get the relationship first. So we substitute k for 3 for k here. Hope you know. 3 for k here. So that means that m is now equal to what? 3 what? L. Are we together? So this is the relationship between the m and l. Do you know what this means? M is 3 times the value of L. So at any point in time, at any value of M, it must be 3 times the value of L. Out together. That's the meaning. So this is the answer to the first part. The relationship between what? M and L. So let's go to the second part. He said we should find the value of L when M is what? 15. We should find the value of what? L when M is what? 15. So if for us to solve this, we now work with this equation, right? This relationship. So here now M is equal to 3L. We are given the value of M to be what? 15. Are you following? So we substitute M for 15 here to find what? L. So the B part now say that, remember that M is equal to what? 3L. So but M is equal to what? 15. That means 15 is equal to 3L. L is now equal to what? 15 over what? 3, which is what? 5. Are we together? And it's true. Please, after solving, try to check whether your answer is correct. Now, if you watch now, we are told that M is 3 times the value of L. Here, L is 5. M is what? 15. So it's actually 3 times the value of what? L. And here, M is what? 6. L is 2. 3 times 2, 6. So M is actually 3 times what? L. Please, after solving, try always check your answers to be sure that it corresponds with what you did, what you are given, so that you don't make mistakes. Ada. I'm talking to you. Okay, you are nodding your head. Oh yeah, leave the class first. Leave class. When you are done, come in. Who for this year? Who got their boss? If I get this year, and I was also see that my passing, you could let me go and cut my hair and rest. Go and ask some of your mothers said they're even tired. 2 of us. I say yes. So someone I say some. I didn't say oh. Yes, it's true. Tired of, please, they cut their hair low cut and you go did their away. That's true. Highest they will just go and buy wig. Maybe if they want to go for an occasion, they just after that they go and rest. So I believe if you see any question that revolves around this, you can solve that, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me see that our revision. Let me see if there's a question I can get from the gift. Revision question. Okay, you didn't print it out. I want to see any question that has a denominator number so we can solve it. Fast. Let me just see it. Let me see it. Get the revision question on this topic. Let me see. I can kill the bird, right? Just give me let me search it myself. Give me the revision question on ratio, proportion, and variation. Okay, let's look at this question. Let's see. Okay, the question says if 2,000 tablets of multivitamins are produced per minute by given tableting machine, how many tablets will the machine produce that should be produced here in 1 hour time if it keeps producing at the same rate without interruption? Are we together? What are the parameters here? Huh? Huh? What? You say what? Tablet per minute. Is it tablet or number of? Is it number of tablet and time? Is it tablet or number of tablets? It's not tablet. It's number of tablets. You say tablet, yeah, that means you're talking about different types of what? Tablet. It's number of tablets and what? Time. It's number of tablets and what? If you, it is number of tablets and what? Time. Do you think this question is more of variation or more of proportion? Huh? Are you sure? Why do you say so? You say what? There is no directly or what? So how do you think we can solve the question? I like what you said though, but how do you think we can solve the question? Eh? Okay, so in a nutshell, we don't even know whether it is direct or indirect or inverse. Is that what I say? From this question, forget what you know in your head. From this question, do you know whether it's direct or indirect? Is it established? Is it established in the question? Is it? This thing now, yeah? Say what you say. How do you know is that proportion? How do you know that proportion? Who told that the tablet increased? Is it showing in the question? And he said that it keeps producing at the same rate. That's Is that what? Are you sure it always goes like that? So you are saying that. So you are saying that and is proportional to what? Time. Is that what you are saying? Huh? Then that n is equal to what? Kt. Is that what you are saying? So that means k is now equal to what? Is that what you are saying? Huh? So that means k is equal to what? N is what? N is what basically? Number of tablet, right? So 2000 watts. What? Over 60. Ìgbọ̀n nínú fẹ́ over 1 minute, right? So k is equal to this, right? So if you put it back to this formula, n is now equal to what? 2000 tablet, right? Over 1 minute, right? Times what? Times t, right? Now, but our t is here is what? 1 hour, right? And 1 hour is what? Is equal to what? 60 minutes. So that means n is equal to what? 2000 watts tablet over 1 minute times what? 60 minutes. So which is equal to what? 2000 times 60 is what? What 2000 watts? See. Minute to gas 2 minutes. Times what 2000 watts tablet. Is it correct? Are you sure it's correct? Ask. In this question now,
How can you can notice? There are people like this various tea and everything. Who are near to know the question, shall I say that? Tea, we have to push it.
This question, I like this question. I'll use this question to explain something. Listen carefully. This is also a proportion. Now listen carefully. I want to distinguish between, I have distinguished between ratio and proportion. All together. Variation is also a proportion. But variation tells you how does it vary? How does that proportion vary? You set up proportion between quantities, right? Now, that quantity, that change, how do they vary? Is it directly or is it what? Inverse. That's what variation tells you. Anything you are solving, that's why you look as if there's a confusion here. It's also what? Proportion. You can also solve this question using what? Using proportion. Say if you set a proportion, you solve this question. But this question is not actually a variation question. It's a proportion question. Because they didn't tell you how they vary. It's when you now get a proportion, you now for the answer you get the proportion, you don't know whether they vary directly or indirectly. So we solve if we solve it as a proportion. Let's assume now that's why I told you, do not answer my question based on what you have in mind. Based on what the question says. Because I tell you that it is a direct, you didn't tell anything. It only says you should get if this is what. It's when you now find what is this. Let's assume you use normal proportional way to solve the question. I will get 120,000. We now compare it with when it was this. It was 1 minute. When it was 61 hours, now 20,000. Okay, that means it's a direct proportion. So after setting the proportion and getting the answer, you now ask yourself, is it direct? Let's assume we solve this using proportion. After solving the whole thing, we get that this one is lower than this. We now say, okay, it's an inverse. They vary inversely. That's why sometimes you look as if they're using variation and the proportion interchangeably. It's proportion. But it only shows how they change. How they change. Communicating. So this is a proportional question, but after solving it, you will now, from the answer you get, you now determine whether it is a direct proportion or indirect. So if we solve it, let's set normal proportion to solve this thing. To make you understand this. This is what we solve we on our own forecast. This is a forecast that it should be. It should be how it is. Am I competing? Because if you are doing it should be, that the question you will see, you solve it should be, at the end you're getting something else, you're confused. So this is a proportion. It is a variation question. You'll be asked first of all that this varies directly proportional to this, or inversely proportional to this. What is this when this is this? Boom. That's one way it can come. It can also come like this and ask you, how do they vary? When you get the value of this, do not ask how did the number of tablets vary with what? Time. You now say it varies directly proportional. Is it clear now? So now let us clean this. I done with this. I'll follow the normal procedure. I'll do normal proportion. When we are done with normal proportion calculation, we now say whether it is what? Direct or what? Indirect. So that's the difference between what? Slight difference between variation and what? Proportion is just there. Proportion will just tell you that this is it, but among the particular direction, whether it is inverse or what? Direct. Is it clear? Can I clean now? So let me solve this thing. Let me solve this thing. In fact, let me solve it with. Let me solve with. Let me first solve with dimensional analysis. Now, look up. We are told if 2,000 tablets of multivitamin are produced per minute by a given tableting machine, how many tablets will the machine produce in 1 hour? Now, first of all, we are looking for what? Number, right? So n should come first, right? Or tablet, sorry, tab should come first, right? Is equal to the one that have direct association with that is what? Is what?
1 hour.
Direct please don't convert, calm down. We are working on dimension analysis. Is hour. Is what? Hour. So here is what? 1
Hour.
1 hour. Here should be what?
1 hour.
1 hour. Over what? 1. So let us now look at, now solve our question. Is there any hidden conversion factor here?
Yes.
There is. What is it? 1 hour is what? 60 minutes, right? So 1 hour is what? 60 what? Minutes. So you can do 1 hour over what? 60 what? Minutes. Can you enter here? We invert it, right? Times what? 60 minutes over what? 1 hour. Is there any, okay, we have here 2,000 tablets per minute. So we have 2,000 tablets over what? 1 minute. Can I enter here? Times what? 2,000 tablets over what? 1 minute. So we are done. So we can cancel, right? Hour will do what? Minute to do what? 60 times 2,000 tablet is what? 1,000 what? Tablets. Now, we have solved the proportion now. We've gotten that when it is 2,000, it was 1 minute, at 1 minute. But when the time increased to 60 minutes, 120 tablet is now what? 120,000 tablet is now what? Produced. Therefore, we cannot categorically state here that number of tablets varies directly proportional to what? The time. Other factors being to what? Constant. What are those factors? They are using the same machine. It is produced at the same what? Rate, no change, no interruption. So the number of tablets is directly proportional to what? The time. So as the time increases, number of tablets produced will do what? Will do what? Increase. So this is just the proportion, but you now from there now determine whether it is a direct or what. So jumping here and start saying it is direct is prejudice. You are not even just assuming. There are some may appear this, but it may not actually be what? Direct. So you need to solve it proportionally first. Having determined this, I cannot categorically say that it's a what? From there, I can determine the constant here. Hope you know. Hope you know. I can determine, I can get the equation joining what? Two of them, as the case may be. I can get the equation joining two of them. Look, okay, let's find the equation joining two of them. And that is, let's find the equation joining two of them. And that equation will help us to determine what this will be when this is that at any point in time. So let's get the equation. From here, we will establish. We want to determine the equation between two of them or relationship. Okay. From here, we will determine that what n is what then proportional to what t. N is what number of tablets. T is what time taking, right? So that means n is equal to what kt. All together. Yes. Good. The first step. Our k is equal to what? N is what? 2,000 what? Tablets over what? Over what? 1 what? Minute. Right?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now we put it back to the equation. Now here now for the new states That means n is equal to what? At k, at when t is 1 hour, right? Which is 60 minutes, right? That means n is now equal to what? 2000 what? Tablets. Sorry. The answer is 2000 of tablet over 1 minute t. This is the relationship between what? Or simply put, look at the right way to put it. Can I clean here? Let's put it like scientists. This is what it should be. It should be what that n is equal to what? 2000 t tablets per what? Minutes. All together. This is the relationship between what? Between what? N and what? T. What does it mean? At any point in time, the value of n is 2000 times the value of what? T. At any point in time, the value of n is 2000 times the value of what? T. So if we increase the time by just 1 minute, at 1 minute, if you increase it by 1 minute, you increase the number of tablets by how many times? 2000 tablets. So at any 1 minute, 2000 tablets is produced. That's the meaning. So if you increase the time, you add extra 2000. The time increasing by 1 minute, 2000 tablets is produced. That's the meaning. Do you appreciate it now?
Yes.
Good. I categorically beat my chest because of I have solved the proportion first. Have you been? They told you that it. Have you noticed that almost all the variation questions we have solved here, they will first tell you that this varies the proportion before they ask you question on that. But here they want you to determine it yourself first before you can now say whether it is what direct or what indirect. So this is more of proportion question. If I wanted to make it a variation question, that's how I'll add BC there. I'll ask you what type of variation is that. Then I may ask you the relationship. Am I communicating? All right. So I think we have done something. Let's look at inverse variation now. Okay. T. Let me take it now here. Sitting here now. I said 2 T. I shifted this tablet so it doesn't confuse you with this T. Okay? So 2 T tablets per minute.
So how can you identify that the proportion is
How can you?
Identify that on this question you get to identify that directly. If you see how you also identify that
We are about to enter joint variation now. This is just direct variation. So we want to enter what? Joint variation. When we get there, then other things will come up on that. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. What?
You say what?
So this one.
This one? Yes, this one is no okay, but I just put it in a way. I just put the unit by the side. Okay? I just put the unit by the side. Now, let's look at. Sorry, before we go back to joint variation, there's a question you will see. you may not necessarily start wasting your time trying to find a constant. You can just go straight to the point. Maybe if sometimes you may see something that doesn't involve the you can use this formula. Let me just derive it. We know that. Let me for that. Let me use this number of tablets and the time. Okay, where n is directly proportional to what t, right? And n is equal to what k t. That means k is equal to what n over what t. What it means is that at any point in time, k is constant. K doesn't change. So the first value k is equal, is constant, it don't change. First value of a k will be at a1, okay? All together. If you have that k is equal to n over t, so k1 should be what? N1 over what? T1. And k2 should be what? N2 over what? T2. Right? And we said that n is constant, right? That means n1 is equal to what? Do you agree with me? So, which means that I mean K1, sorry. K1 is equal to what? K2. Which means that we substitute this for the value of K, which is now N1 over what? N1. T1, thank you, is equal to what? N2 over what? T2. Can you remember your Charles law? Charles law, where V1 over T1 is equal to what? This is how Charles law was derived. So it's a direct what? Variation. Maybe a question that doesn't require you to start solving for K. Use this one directly and solve and get your answer straight. Maybe you are given three values and you're not giving one, right? You get your answer straight. Out together. Did this resemble something in your proportion? Is that something, right? But this one talks about what type of proportion it is. Is it direct or what? Indirect. So, but this is for what? Direct. Out together. Good. So this is what I want you to learn in case you see some questions that have no business with finding K. Okay? You saw because the K has disappeared. I hope you know. Now let's see if I don't. Can I click the board? Huh? Now let's look at inverse variation. Let's look at inverse variation. So inverse variation of the name is inverse. If x varies inversely proportional to y, that means x, it can be expressed as this, that x is what? Are we together? That's meaning if x varies inverse proportional to y, see what it means, that x is 1 over what? Y. Are we together? Now, just as we had as we did in the direct variation, at this point now, if you keep other factors what? Constant, and vary only x and y, as x is increasing, y is what? Decreasing, and vice versa. So if that is the case, we now, to the sign of proportionality, x is now equal to what? K 1 over y, which is not saying what? K over what? Y. So x is equal to what? K over y. Out together. Out together. Now the same way, there's a question you will see. You will ask to find the formula connecting x and y. Okay? Or you need to find the value of k first before solving for y. Or if you don't want to do any big business with k, you do what we did in the other one for Charles law. Here, Boyle's law will take place. Let me use pressure to be what? X, and volume to be what? Y. So if I'm going to Charles law now, I'm making it practical now, okay? It's inverse proportional to what? V. Sorry. Inverse proportional to what? V. That means Pressure is equal to what? Constant over what? V. Therefore, constant is equal to what? Pressure times what? Volume. So at K1 is P1 V1. At K2 is equal to what? P2 V2. But K is a constant. It doesn't change. So K1 is equal to what? K2. That means P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. This is what? An inverse what? Variation. If you do this thing with X and Y, you also arrive at a point where we say that what? X1, Y1 is equal to what? X2, Y2. This is what? Inverse what? Variation. Inverse what? Variation. So let's look for one abstract question to solve and one denominate number to solve. We are done with this. We go to what? Joint variation. If you understood what you didn't know in direct, this is just the same thing. There's not much, just to mind their positions, okay? Can I clean this? All right, look at this question. It says, if D varies inversely as T, use the symbol alpha to show a connection between D and T. This one is not even a question, sir. I thought it's a question. What's the answer? What's the answer? That this what? I didn't even look at the question very well, sir. And I was wasting my energy writing on the board. Anyway, just put it down. Let me look for question here. Okay, let's start from this simple question. Okay, the question says, if x is inversely proportional to y and x is 22 when y is 3, find the relationship between x and y. Find the relationship between x and y. So look up the relationship. This is the variation, right? So to remove this, we have that what x is now equal to what k over what y. Therefore, a is equal to what xy, right? But we are given that x is 22 when y is 3, right? That implies that k is equal to what 22 times what 3, which is what? So k is what 66. So we now carry this value of k and put here. That implies that x is now equal to what? 66 over what? 66 over what? Y. This is the relationship between what? Between what? X and Y. That x is what? 66 over what? Y. Are we together? So at any value of x, you can find what? Y. And at any value of y, you can find what? The corresponding value of what? X. Sometimes you may be given a range of values of x. You find their corresponding values of what? Y. Sometimes you may be given um, range of values of y. You may find the what? Remember how you plot your graphs, right? How you plot your either quadratic whatever equation graph or whatever it is. Can you remember? You have to develop other values, right? Before you now plot. When the s is this, what happened to the other one? You use a formula connecting them, and that formula is the equation. That's the equation. Is it clear? That x is equal to what? 66 over what? Y. So let me look for. Come on, open it for me. Thank you. Let me look for a question that has to do with some practical questions. Let's see how far we can go with it. Okay. Okay. Can you see the board clearly? Can you?
No.
You cannot see the board. Come here, come here. Come this side so you can see the board. See empty space when I want when I'm working as well. Get no. I come here, I sit here. Can you see the board?
Yes, sir.
No, no, you can't come. It's not true. Come here. Carry on. Come here. Come and stay here. You cannot see the board there. Come here. The question says the amount of metronidazole powder that remains after tableting is inversely proportional to the number of metronidazole tablets produced. If 10,000 tablets of metronidazole tablets is produced, 6 kilograms of metronidazole powder remains. What amount of metronidazole powder remains when 20,000 tablets of metronidazole is produced? What's the brand name of metronidazole you know? Flagyl. Okay. There's a J. It's still on the way. Okay, now, so have you not seen this is a typical question that talks about inverse word variation? You see the first statement. The amount of metronidazole powder that remains after tableting is inversely proportional. It's not confusing. They've told you how it varies. But I want you to find the other value when this is this, okay? Proportional to what? Number of tablet. The amount of metronidazole powder that remains after tableting is inversely proportional to the number of metronidazole tablets produced. If 10,000 tablets of metronidazole tablet is produced, no need putting tablet here again. If 10,000 tablets of metronidazole is produced, 6 kilograms of metronidazole powder remains. What amount of metronidazole powder remains when 20,000 tablets of metronidazole is produced. Hope you know what that powder is. What? What is the role of that powder in the production? Is what? Huh? Huh? What is the role of the powder in that formulation? Huh? I'll go down their brain. Oh yeah, answer. Is that not the active ingredient? Okay now. Alright, so that's the what? Active ingredients. That's the active. So let's continue. So how do we now solve the question? First of all, you write out the what? The expression, right? So let the let the let n represent the number of what? Tablets, okay? Let n represent the what? Number of what? Tablets. So n is inversely proportional to what? N is inversely proportional to what? Sorry, wait. The amount of powder that remains after blending is inversely proportional to the number of what? Produced. What do you use? P is what? Okay, you want to use P for powder and T is for what? Tablets. Amount of the powder, right? That remains. Why do they want? Okay, it's okay. It's not bad. So we have what? What do we have here now? That P is what? Inversely proportional to what? To what? T, right? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Good. That's what this question says. So we are now say that I know that you can this find formula. In this case now, you may have no business looking for the constant. You know. Are you aware? You may have no business looking for the constant. Are you aware? It's just like running helter skelter. After you get the constant, you still go back again to the equation. You get the answer, but you can use what that thing will derive and solve this question straight. Because the question doesn't suggest you looking for the what? The constant. If this is 10,000, 6 kilograms will remain. So how if 20,000 is what produced? So you can simply say that what P1 T1 is equal to what? Do you agree with me? Inverse or variation. Do you agree with me? So we are given P1 to be what? P1 is what? Huh? Huh? P1 is 6 kg. T1 is what? 10,000 what? Tablets, right? These markers are weak. What's going on? So P2 is what? T2 is what? So we make P2 the subject of the formula, right? So P2 is equal to what? Over what? T what? T2, which is what? P1 is what? P1 is what? 6 kilogram, right? Times T1 is what? 10,000 tablets. Over what? 20,000 watts tablets. Tablet to do what? This first will take care of what? 2 divided what? 3. So we have what? 3 kg. 3 kg. Let's check whether it's true. Look up. When 10,000 is produced, 6 kilogram remain. So when you double the number you produce, if you reach to what? Half. True of us? Half. So it's an inverse what? Variation. Yes. It's an inverse what? Variation. You can still solve it finding the K first too. Then go back and answer. You can, but it's a long what? Process because it has no business here. So that's why you just go straight to this formula and get your answer. Okay. This. Any question on this? Is clear, right? So let's look at joint variation. Let's look at joint variation. Can I clean the board? Can I? What's that? Yeah. Normal proportion. Try it now. You got 12 kg. Yeah, already be told that it's an inverse variation. So it's used for inverse what? Variation. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, now let's solve let's look at joint variation. Or do you need to use it? So you see what if what the answer will look like. Do I try it? If you want, I'll try. If you don't want, we go to joint variation by proportion. Who has tried it? You got two. Oh, you got 12. Okay, let me do my own and let me see what I will get. Constant. By K, and you got 12. No, something is wrong somewhere. No, that one, something is wrong somewhere in that one. You must get the answer unless unless there was a mistake in your step. If you solve through finding K first, right? Before solving, you get the answer. You must get 3 kg unless something happened. Check well, check your steps well. Maybe that there's a mix up, yeah, there was a mix up somewhere. What I'm talking about? I hope I'm on the same page with two of you, right? You are talking about using proportion, solving it as proportion. Pretend as if you don't know that it's a what, inverse variation, right? Okay, let's do that one. How many values were we giving? We're going at p is what? Huh? When t is what? And p is what? We don't know yet. When t is what? Let's see what I can get from this. Look up. Look up. What are you looking for? All right. If you put p here, right? Which one associate with this p directly? 20 what? Over what? Times what? 6 kg over what? 6 kg. 6 kg over what? What? Tablet. So what's the answer? 12. Is it 12? When this is what? 10,000. Then what happens when it is what? 20,000. So it's what? 12 what? 12 what? Kilogram. Then, if we set up proportion, we have that P of P1 T1 is equal to what? P2 what? T2. Now, but if you follow the rule of the equation, we have that what? P1 T1 is equal to what? P2 T2. And if we watch this thing we set here, this is P2, right? And this is what? This is what? T what? Is it T2? T2 times this is what? P1 over what? T1. And if we reorganize this equation, we will now get that P1 T2 is equal to what? P2 T1. You agree with me? So if you divide both sides by T2, we have that P1 over 1 is equal to what? P2 T1 over what? T2. If you multiply both sides, you want to cancel this T2. If you multiply both sides by this 29 is T2, right? I want to establish something here first. Then I will say what I want to say. Just watch out. After establishing this, I will make a statement I want to make with respect to this, so you understand it. Now this is P2, right? This is what? T2 is here. This is what? P1. And this is what? T2. T1, sorry. And I think this is correct. Sorry, see where the error is. Here it should be what? T what? Here should be what? T1. Sorry. I've seen the errors. Huh? You say what? Are we good now? Huh? Are we good now?
Yes, sir.
So last, if multiply, I have what? P2 is equal to what? P1 what? Over what? T1. Are we together? Are we together? Good. So here now, here what to do here is that we want to find out what actually happened here. If we multiply both sides by T1, this T1 will go, right? Or simply cross multiply. We have what? P2 what? T1 is equal to what? Better. Then we can divide both sides by any of them. Even if we divide both sides by P2, we have what? We have this, right? We have T1 is equal to what? P1 T2 over what? P1, right? So over what? P2 sorry, over P2. Are you aware? Are you aware that this thing is the same thing with P1 over T1 is equal to what? P2 over what? Do you agree with me? Let me open it up. P2 T1 is equal to P1 T2. Are you aware? Are they same thing? Check this and check this. Are they same thing? Only one person is speaking. Others, what do you think? Good. Now, when you hear proportion, pam, that is an area you should also be what? Careful. Direct. Out together. Out together. Now, there are sometimes you even see squared, cube by 2, but it's twice this and that. If we go and start set proportion like that, you fail it. You have to follow the rule given to you for the question. That's why I insisted. If you see a variation question, there must be a statement first on the nature of the variation before you can do what? Solve. You can see a direct something that is direct and use normal proportion and get it. But once you start thinking towards inverse, or you start seeing other things, other things that maybe you have coefficients there, or maybe cube or square or cube roots or whatever. All those things you must follow the laid down rule. If you go and start doing a normal way of proportion, you will always be getting direct proportion, and you will not be able to do what? Get the what? Answer. So I resolve this to come to say that it will still come back to what? This. Point now that normal proportion we talk about tend towards what? Direct what? Proportion. But if there's a particular, if there's a change or whatever they want you to achieve, the question will be, there will be a statement to that effect, being specific of the what? The relationship, before you can do what? Solve the what? The question. So when you come to joint is just when you have, let's assume you have x and y. Let's assume you have x and y. We have two parameters, x and y. Maybe x may be directly proportional to what? Y. X to the what? The same X again becomes inversely proportional to what? Over Z. No, S cannot be directly proportional to Y. The same S again is not possible. Is it possible? S is directly proportional to Y. The same S again is inversely proportional to Y. Is it possible?
Yeah.
X is directly proportional to Y. The same X again is inversely proportional to Y. Is it possible? Uh, did you get my question?
Answer the question and you are saying yes.
I don't think you.
But sir, you know this.
I asked a question. You said yes. I was shocked. I was trying to find out what informed you are yes. I said, is it possible for X to be directly proportional to Y? The same X again is is inversely proportional to Y. It's not possible now.
X. Proportional to Y. But proportional to Y is
I just ask a side question. I just leave that. Leave alone. I'm asking a question. Leave what on the board. Huh? It's possible. Huh? Uh-huh. Thank God I asked this question. Thank God I asked this question. Seriously. Igakama ogologo ka mgbomgbo. Ada. Igakama ogologo ka mgbomgbo at the same time. Ikama ogologo mmegini nke mkpụkpọ ya.
But it cannot be said the X then proportional to Y and inverse proportional to Y. That's why I'm saying it because it doesn't.
Okay. You don't understand what CIS thing in my class. How do you understand? After this year, I think is coming is to hit and reflect and go. See to like a student. Then you understand. It will enter. It will penetrate. Did you do reflection? It will hit spam and reflect and go. See to where it will enter. Okay? Ask your question.
Sir, how is it not possible?
Okay, how is it possible? How is it possible?
Sorry, normal law is this right X direct proportional to Y. And X is inverse proportional to Y.
Thank God I asked this question. Ask him, hello, X can be any number, X can be any quantity. I'm asking you, is it possible for X to be proportional to Y? The same X, the same quantity again, what? They are proportional to the same Y. Is it possible? It's possible if X and Y are different values, but if X represents the same X, Y the same Y, just like saying that number of tablet produced is directly proportional to the time, right? Is it possible again for number of tablet produced to be inversely proportional to time again? I want to give you an example already now.
Sir, use number. Use number. Tablets.
No, we deal with tablets. So why would I push the tablet away? Our work is what tablet.
Okay, let's say 12 tablets.
Uh-huh.
Is directly proportional. 12 tablets is directly proportional. 1 hour.
So listen, x cannot be direct proportional to y. The same x, these things. I know that issue is once we go into. We also have a situation whereby x is directly proportional to y. The same x again will become directly proportional to what? Z. Are you aware? Are you aware? Are you aware? Are you aware? So how do we take care of this relationship concerning this 1 to 3 simultaneously? That will lead to what? Joint variation. Okay. So in that case, since this and this is the same thing, you bring that one, it will introduce multiplication between the two of them altogether. So we have that x is now x is directly proportional to what? Y dot what? 1 over z. Then y dot what? Z. So if this means that x is equal to what? Y over what? Z. In this case now, s is directly proportional to what? YZ. These things are joint what? Variation. What this means is that x is directly proportional to y and inversely proportional to what? Z. But here, x is directly proportional to y and what? Z. All together. That and represent what? Multiplication. I hope you know. And so here, x is directly proportional to y and inversely proportional to what? Z. X is directly proportional to y and z. Sometimes you may start seeing things like square, cube. All those ones are just additives. But this is the backbone. This is the what? Skeleton. Okay. Those ones are just the flesh. So with this now, we for better understanding.
Yes, sir.
Let me know. Agụsịka akwụkwọ na-emechi akwụkwọ ya agụsịrị emechi akwụkwọ ike akwụkwọ unu.
Yes, sir. And you drink all of it and food, yes.
You woke up to a shocking note. Okay, every Monday you see shocking note.
Some Monday on
Now you can be drinking champagne while you are writing the quiz. Hey, it's simple now. If there's no network in your house, you can go to the class and do it in the class.
No network in the university. This is how they
And we are live. It's MTN. It's 4G now. It's 4G. So we can do up to 30 cookies itself. So that's why we do it as many as possible. So even if you could not get network and miss one, miss two, three, five, 10, it's nothing.
It's nothing. It's not.
All right, so let's solve one or two questions from here then. Okay, let me introduce that one with spear. Alma, Alma. All of us here on them with 10/10. Una go in a class. Oh yeah, you put you separate. Oh yeah, come here. One person should come here. Also fast. Fast. Also, it's you, Alma, come here. Come and stay here. Now, let's solve a question here. This is a jam question. The jam question. So, the question says, y varies inversely as x squared and the x varies directly as z squared. Find the relationship between y and z. Given c is a what? Constant. No, this question is not complete. Who can solve it? Who get mind? Huh? Gift, Oya, come. There you are. Come and solve it. Says who?
I don't know. They came. I don't say actually.
Name of them.
That can solve. Now it's your turn to solve. Why come and solve? I've tried. For the past 2 hours, I've been doing this. Let me go and sit down. Oh, yeah. Give to go and solve for us fast. No, anywhere you stop, we'll help you go. Anywhere you stop, we
Why do you use yes?
Next. Hey, and this is very important. Can I give it? How many hours do we have left?
Hours, no, we just have 29 minutes.
Ah, you are taking time for me. You're not serious.
No, time is just
You okay? You were taking time for me before.
no what? Our time
No,
is.
we just started. This now we other ones are preamble. Is that what? Megan? All right. So I don't know if there's any question here. So what did I say about partial variation in our last class? Come and take this book gift. Okay, what did I say about partial variation in our last class? I said something. I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you the meaning of. I didn't ask you the meaning of partial variation. I said what did I say about it in our last class? And what again? Mm-hmm. What did I say about it? You weren't in the class. Adangwa. Okay. In partial variation, a particular quantity you want to check on is partly but the particular quantity is partly constant. At the same time, it partly varies with another what quantity. A particular quantity is partly constant. It also partly varies with another what quantity at the same time. Now, I think I told you something about the if you have like now you are screening from now, right? You are screening from. I think I use clothes for that. For example, you are screening from now to buy the same material, the same amount. Okay. Let's assume that the cost of the school uniform is what? Huh? Huh? That one is the sorry, I'm talking about the cost of the cloth. Sorry. Hey, let's say the cost of the cloth itself is 5,000, okay? 5,000 Nigerian what? Naira. Okay? This is the cost of the cloth itself. Now, instead of Oyinye following gift to go to sew just simple school uniform, then Constant told them bought the same cloth, the same material at 5,000. Then gift will now go to the other woman's own. She will just take normal measurement and they sew her clothes for her. And the clothes she will now sew for her will now maybe it will take 2 days to sew her own clothes. Oyinye, she want to look sexy. She will now go for designs that will make it look wonderful. And he will tell her the same, it may even be the same, it may even be the same suggest. Okay, this your own will take me 5 days. There's now a change, there's now different now. Her own is 2 days. Her own is now, because of what she want her to do for her, her own is now 5 days. But her own is what? 2 days. Now, this is where the issue lies now. There will be a change here. Total cost, this is C is the total cost of the what? The clothing, both. Maybe the woman will take transport to go to buy one zip, nature of zip she wants, or the button she wants to put in her own. All these things is money. She will pay for all those things and her time, and on top of that, the woman will make profit again for that stress. But there are some things that you cannot quantify. The stress, she will put it as money. Maybe at the end of the whole thing, all these things will make gifts own to be maybe 10,000. Then her own will become what?
20,000.
Onye's own is what? 20,000. So the cost, this type of variation is called partial variation. The cost of, if you want to express this now, the cost of this now, the cost of this now is partially what? Constant. Altogether, it's constant here in terms of the cost of the material, but partially varies with the designs, time taking, blah 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 blah. You can first focus on only time and keep all other one constant. You say this is where the variation now lies. Is constant and partially varies with some factors. Am I communicating now? So that's why difference is there. This is where it varies. So mathematically, you can represent partial variation like this. Let's assume we are talking about such cost, like C is equal to what? Maybe E over K T. Look up. These two things are constants, but this is not a constant now. Hope you know. K is constant, but because T should change. Maybe your focus is on the time. Maybe what led to this increase in price is the time it took the woman to sew it. And even if you have a question at the end, you end up solving it simultaneously. Her own cost is 20,000. Her own cost is what? 15,000. Has it gone now? Remaining. Let's solve a question, no problem. Anywhere it stops, we'll stop. Let's keep solving. Let's keep solving. You know, I stayed more than the. I'm about to hit 2 hours 30 minutes off. Yeah. Now let's just solve one question and see how far we can. Anywhere it stops, we stop there. Tomorrow we'll continue from there. Now let me solve this question. Look up. The question says the charge of a telephone company. The charge of a telephone company. The charge of a telephone company is partly constant and partly varies as the number of units of call, U. The cost of 90 units is 1,120 naira, and the cost of 120 units is 1,216 naira. Find a formula which connects C and U. Then find C when U is 150 units. Now look up. Let me solve this question straight. Remember the form I told you this partial variation takes, right? Form like C is equal to what? E plus what? KT. Now, solution. Now, we are told two things are involved. Charge, which is C, and unit, which is what? U. The charge of a phone company is part C is partly constant. They tell us that we use it to represent constant. We can call it what? E, right? Plus as a number of units, U. So it varies with U, but it's partly constant. Partly varies with what? U. So we put a constant before, right? KU. Is it clear now? Good. Now, the cost of 90 units is 1,120 naira. So if we have 90 units, so if U is 90, here becomes what? 1,000 what? So if we have 1,000, 1 what? 20 naira, right? Is equal to E plus what? 90 what? 90k. Is it clear? Is it clear? Good. Now, when for 120k, the cost is what? The one two. We are told to find a formula which connect what? C and what? U. The formula which connect what? C and what? U. So we find it. We saw this in what? Simultaneously. Simultaneously. We find it what? Simultaneously. That means we find the value of E and K. Before if we find the value of E and K, we put it here. Then we'll find what joins C and what? U. Is it clear? Simultaneously, we find out E and K. Put it in this formula to find the relationship between C and what? U. Is it clear? So let's solve by A. You can do minus. You can just do minus ahead of time. You can put after we just let's just subtract. Here is minus what? Minus what? 30k. Here is what? Minus what? 160 minus 120. 104. 104. Are you sure? Of course, you know this will take care of what? This hope you know. So k is now equal to what? Minus 96 naira over what? 30, right? This will take care of this. So how much? What is k? You know that this you have a unit to hope you know. Are you aware? 120k unit, hope you know. So here is k units. So k here is unit, hope you know. K is now equal to 96. 3 what? 3 point what? Talk now.
It will be 16/5. That is divided by 6 and divide that.
You say what?
16/5. That is the
Hey. Is it better by 30? 3.2.
Is it 3.2 dots?
yes.
Is it 0.3 or an approximate?
No, that's 3.2.
Okay. The answer is what? 3.2 naira per or 320 kobo naira 320 kobo per you what units. Now this is value of k, right?
Yes.
Now we can put k here and find the value of p. So let's solve with this first one. E is here. E is equal to what? Here E is equal to what? 120 minus what? 90k. K what? Units. But we only know that k is equal to 3.2 units per naira per unit, right? So remember here is naira. E is now equal to what? 1,120 naira minus 90. We substitute this for k, right? Times 3.2 naira per what? Unit. Are we together? Are we together? Remember, there's already units. I hope you know. Unit cancel. So we are 90 times 3.2 is what? Naira. Times 3.2 naira is what? 288 what? Naira. So we have 1,120 naira minus 288 naira is equal to what?
8.6.
Huh?
8.6.
83 what? 832 naira. This is E. Are we together? E is what? 832 what? Naira. And K and the K is what? 3.2 naira per. So can I clean here? So we now substitute two of them in this equation. So the answer to the first part of the question is what? That C is now equal to what? E is what? 832 naira plus K is what? K is what? 3.2 naira yo. Hope you know. So what? units. This is the equation connecting two of them. With this now, at any value of u, you find C. At any given value of u, you can find C. Any given value of C, you can find U. It's simple. But what the question says we should find, this B part say we should do what? Find what? So the B part, when U is what? When U is what? When U is 180, 150. So it's 180. So when U is 150, when U is 150, it's simple. Just substitute this U here with 150 units. So let's go. C is now equal to what? 832 naira